Number 10 leads us to the country of Sudan. Sudan has become one of the most dangerous countries in the world due to various factors. The country has been severely impacted by years of conflict and violence, with the situation deteriorating further as the days go by. Since the year 1983, Sudan has been embroiled in a civil war that has resulted in the loss of life of nearly 2 million individuals. Additionally, the alleged mass annihilation by the Sudanese government in the Darfur area has displaced millions of other people. Sudan faces the threat of extremist groups who have been responsible for multiple unfortunate acts within the country. Number 9 takes us to the Central African Republic. The ongoing violence and humanitarian crisis have made the Central African Republic one of the most unsafe nations in the entire world. The country has been plagued by instability as well as violence for numerous years, and there really is no sign that this is going to improve anytime soon. More than half of the population relies on humanitarian aid, and millions of people have been forced to flee their homes due to all the fighting that's going on. Also, the violence has resulted in thousands of people losing their lives and countless injuries, and many civilians have been subjected to all manner of unspeakable acts. Due to the lack of security, people are unable to carry out their daily activities without fear for their safety, and many have sought asylum in other countries because of all of this. And at the number 8 spot, we have Somalia. The State Department of the United States warns against traveling to Somalia due to armed conflict, the persistent and high threat of attacks, and the prevalence of violence. Attacks are frequent in Somalia, and various targets including Aden Adi International Airport, government officials and buildings, hotels and restaurants, foreigners, foreign interests, and the UN personnel are all at risk. Recent incidents had resulted in numerous fatalities and injuries, and the probability of kidnapping is very high in Somalia. It is recommended to maintain unpredictability in your movements there, and things like grenade attacks have taken place in residential areas and markets in south central Somalia, so it's advisable to avoid violent areas as well as large public gatherings in Somalia. Country coming in at the number 7 spot is Iraq. Iraq is ranked 157th on the Global Peace Index, and it's primarily due to the continuous unrest and violence in the region. The aftermath of the Iraq War and several ongoing conflicts have led to the displacement of millions of individuals, causing significant human suffering and thousands of individuals losing their life. The instability of the country is further compounded by the government's widespread corruption, which is considered to be among the worst in the world. Congo comes up next at number 6. The Democratic Republic of Congo has been grappling with violence and unrest for several years. The country is home to multiple armed factions, and the government is notably unstable. Also, there's poverty and inequality. Those are prevalent, providing ample opportunities for criminal organizations and gangs to enlist new members because of this. Living in the Democratic Republic of Congo poses significant risks and is expected to remain one of the most unsafe nations globally for an extended period. Moving on to the number 5 spot, let's take a look at the Stelvio Pass over in Italy. The Stelvio Pass definitely stands out to other dangerous roads in this episode due to the captivating alpine scenery that poses a distraction to drivers. Spanning 46.8 kilometers, this road features an impressive series of 48 hairpin bends, making it one of the highest paved mountain passes in the Eastern Alps. In fact, it was hailed as the top driving road in 2008 by Top Gear. Either way, to ensure safety, the Stelvio Pass is equipped with cement barriers that provide a protective barrier for motorists, bikers, and cyclists, preventing them from accidentally veering off the edge. Despite the challenges it presents, the road rewards travelers with breathtaking views of the surrounding alpine landscape, creating a memorable and exhilarating driving experience, that's for sure. Coming down to the number 8 spot, we have 99 Ben Road to Heaven, and this one is found in China. Located within Tiananmen Mountain National Park in China, the 99 Ben Road stretches over 11 kilometers and is known for its remarkable 99 hairpin bends. As you navigate this road, you'll be greeted by sheer drops of approximately 1,175 meters with no protective barriers to prevent vehicles from plunging over the edge. Yeah, that's pretty scary. The daring engineering feats of China are exemplified not only by the 99 Ben Road, but also by the Zhangjiajie Grand Canyon Glass Bridge, which is internationally recognized. The dangers of the 99 Ben Road extend beyond its twisting and turning path and steep cliffs though. The region where it's located is prone to earthquakes, which adds another layer of risk to people that are traveling this route. However, despite the inherent dangers, the 99 Ben Road attracts people who seek the adrenaline rush and the opportunity to see the surrounding landscape. That just doesn't stop them at all. Yeah, people are brave, I'm telling you, man. Next up at number 3, we have the TAROKO Gorge Road. This one is found in Taiwan. The TAROKO Gorge Road winds its way through a mountainous landscape, spanning approximately 19 kilometers. The highway is characterized by its narrow width, numerous blind turns, and the persistent risk of rockfalls, earthquakes, and landslides. Now, the appeal of the TAROKO Gorge Road lies in its surroundings. Of course, it's adorned with lush cliffs and flowing rivers. This natural beauty attracts a steady flow of visitors, including tour buses, cyclists, and motorcyclists, all seeking a memorable experience along the route. However, the increased traffic and limited space can definitely intensify the challenges of navigating this already super dangerous road. Number 2 takes us to SICHUAN-TIBET Highway, and this is found in China and Tibet. One of the most dangerous roads in Asia, the SICHUAN-TIBET Highway poses constant risks such as rockfalls, avalanches, and mudslides. Extending over a vast distance of 2,140 kilometers, this highway reaches a maximum elevation of 4,700 meters. Tragically, the SICHUAN-TIBET Highway claims the lives of numerous drivers and pedestrians each year, and the effects of altitude sickness are also a common concern. However, despite the scary challenges posed by the terrain, this highway weaves through magnificent Buddhist monasteries, alpine villages, and even encounters herds of yaks, so it's a pretty scenic route as well. Ending this episode off at number 1, we have the Atlantic Road, and this is found in Norway. Norway, of course, is one of Europe's most stunning countries. And reflecting the country's natural beauty, the Atlantic Road offers beautiful scenery along its 8.3 kilometer stretch. However, the most dangerous section of this road is when the bridge dramatically rises at an unusual angle, hovering over about 300 meters over the ocean. Yeah. Travelers on this road should be prepared to experience the occasional splash from the ocean waves as well. Also, during the winter or stormy weather conditions, visibility can rapidly deteriorate, and the relentless pounding of the ocean adds an extra challenge to the journey. On a clear day, drivers can anticipate exhilarating moments of driving through roller coaster-like zigzags, sharp turns, and curves, creating definitely an unforgettable and adrenaline-filled experience here. At number 10, we have Cape Town, South Africa. Cape Town, South Africa is situated on the banks of Table Bay, and it's the legislative capital and the second largest city in all of South Africa. Unfortunately though, the city has gained a reputation as one of the world's most dangerous places, currently ranking as the 10th most dangerous city with a homicide rate of approximately 64 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. With around 130 different gangs operating in the city, it is estimated that over 100,000 people are involved with these criminal organizations. Also, sadly, drug-related crimes and gang violence are rampant in Cape Town, further contributing to the city's high crime rate. From here, we take a look over into Brazil at Feira de Santana. Feira de Santana is the second most populous city in the Brazilian state of Bahia, and it is estimated to have a population of 619,609 residents. But unfortunately, the city also holds the dubious distinction of being the world's 9th most dangerous city, with a homicide rate of approximately 67.46 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. It is also the highest homicide rate in all of Brazil, and the city has experienced numerous violent activities, including assaults, scams, pickpocketing, which has left both residents and visitors equally terrified here. Uruapan, Mexico comes next. It's located at the western edge of the Purupicha Highlands, and it is the second largest and second most populous city in Michoacan in Mexico. And sadly, the city is also known as the most dangerous place in Michoacan, and it is the world's 8th most dangerous city, with a homicide rate of approximately 72.59 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. Cartel Jalisco Nuevo Generacion and other criminal organizations frequently engage in violent clashes to control the critical drug trafficking routes in the area, leading to an environment of terror for the city's residents and its visitors. Number 7 leads us to the United States, to the city of St. Louis. Located near the confluence of the Missouri and Mississippi rivers, St. Louis is the second largest city in all of Missouri, and it has a homicide rate of approximately 87.83 homicides per 100,000 inhabitants. St. Louis is currently ranked as the 7th most dangerous city in the world, and it also is one of the most hazardous cities in the United States, with the highest murder rate and drug usage in the country. According to the city's new police chief, approximately half of the assaults and 67% of all murders occur in a small triangular area in the northern part of the city. We're back to Mexico again at number 6, Ensenada. This city is the 3rd largest city in the Mexican state of Baja California, and it currently is ranked as the world's 6th most dangerous city, with a homicide rate of about 90.58 homicides per 100,000. The city is plagued by an increase of violence due to the ongoing turf wars between the rival cartels, such as Sinaloa Cartel and Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generacion, and the remnants of the Arellano Felix organization, and this is all in addition to human trafficking and drug trades. Coming in at the number 5, we have Karakoram Highway in Pakistan and China. Linking Pakistan's Punjab province with China's Xinjiang region, the Karakoram Highway holds the distinction of being the world's highest paved road, positioned approximately 4,714 meters above sea level. Spanning a distance of over 1,300 kilometers, this road is plagued by frequent landslides, rock falls, as well as avalanches and also flooding. In addition to these natural hazards, reckless driving and the presence of herds of animals crossing the road have also been attributed to fatal accidents. Compounding the challenges, the absence of barriers along the road's edges expose drivers to greater risk. Guoliang Tunnel Road in China comes next at number 4. Referred to as the Road of No Mistakes, this 1.2 kilometer pathway boasts both scenic beauty and secrecy, tucked away as one of China's hidden gems. Etched into a sheer cliff in the Taihang Mountains, this road came into existence between 1972 and 1977 through collaborative efforts of local villagers who use huge amounts of explosives. The mere 5.4 meter height and 3.5 meter width, the tunnel accommodates the passage of only 2 vehicles, and that's done with great difficulty. Hazards such as mudslides, rockfalls, dense fog, and slippery surfaces further contribute to the risk associated with this roadway. Moving on to number 3, we have Fairy Meadows Road in Pakistan. The journey along Fairy Meadows Road in Gilgit-Baltistan region is undoubtedly one of the most nerve-wracking experiences. Like many dangerous roads worldwide, this 16.2-kilometer highway lacks guardrails or protective barriers. The path itself is unpaved and neglected, adding to the challenging conditions. And to make matters worse, the road's width is limited to that of a Jeep Wrangler, and it gradually narrows to such an extent that at the end, one must continue on foot or by bicycle. Within a short distance, the road swiftly ascends an elevation of 2.4 kilometers, requiring you to drive over numerous steep sections without adequate tire traction. Coming down to the number 2 spot, we go all the way to Alaska in the United States, the Dalton Highway. Stretching across an immense distance of 666 kilometers, the Dalton Highway, also known as the Dalton Pass, is perhaps the most dangerous road in the United States. This icy road is frequently used by truck drivers traveling to or from the Prudhoe Bay oil fields, and while portions of the road are paved, it remains susceptible to limited visibility as well as icy conditions. Dangers of the Dalton Highway extend beyond its icy surface though. Harsh and frigid winds, as well as the looming threat of avalanches, add to the dangers of this route. On top of that, the road is relatively isolated, with 3 towns scattered along its extensive 666 kilometer expanse. So it's definitely essential to come prepared with ample supplies, as medical facilities, gas stations, and dining food restaurants are scarce and widely dispersed along the way. Coming down to the number 1 spot, the BAYBURT D915 is found in Turkey. The BAYBURT D915 is a 179 kilometer long highway that presents one of the most demanding routes globally. Features 29 sharp bends and lacks protective barriers or railings, leaving vehicles in danger of falling off the edge. Now, navigating this twisty-turny road safely solely relies on your driving expertise. You gotta be a good driver. The hazardous nature of the BAYBURT D915 is evident by its closure during the winter, as risks of avalanche, snowstorms, and other hazardous weather conditions increases. Nevertheless, despite being aware of the dangers associated with this highway, numerous local residents continue to travel along the BAYBURT D915 on a daily basis, employing nearly every available mode of transportation. We start off with number 10, Kai Tak Airport in Hong Kong. This particular airport, located in Hong Kong, was known for its thrilling and nerve-wracking landings. The surrounding area was dominated by mountains, creating a challenging environment for pilots. As incoming flights approached, it almost seemed as if they were skimming the tops of buildings and flying right above the roads. Literally, like, precision was required for these landings. But yeah, it definitely was an incredible sight. Pilots had to manually handle the landing due to the unfavorable wind patterns also in the area. Although it is no longer in operation, the memories of those hair-raising flights will always be a part of aviation history. From there, we move on to number 9, AGATTI AERODROME Airport in India. This place is home to a small airport that serves the area's aerospace needs. At first glance, it's hard to imagine anything remotely terrifying in this seaside haven. However, there's a challenge that pilots face when landing at this airport. The runway on Agatti Island is quite short, measuring approximately 1,219 meters in length, and it doesn't leave much room for an aircraft to touch down smoothly and come to a quick stop. It's like trying to fit a big puzzle piece into a smaller, tight-fit space, requiring precise maneuvering skills and piloting expertise. Yeah, that is just Whew, mind-blowing to imagine. From there, let's move on to Cleveland Hopkins Airport in the United States. While this airport may not face any peculiar challenging terrain or weather, it has unfortunately gained a reputation for being unsafe for the average traveler. Its track record of safety violations speaks volumes. As a matter of fact, back in 2015, the airport received a huge fine of $735,000 for neglecting safety procedures during snowy conditions. Additionally, there have been various instances of hazardous runway conditions over the years. And these incidents highlight the importance of adhering to proper safety protocols and maintaining optimal runway conditions for the well-being of the passengers. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have the Telluride Regional Airport in the United States. This airport is located amidst breathtaking cliffs at a high elevation, making it quite an exciting adventure. As you descend, you'll be treated to an awe-inspiring view of the majestic San Juan Mountains. However, you gotta really hold tight because the strong and turbulent winds in this area can make landing a bit bumpy. It adds an extra element of excitement and challenges both to pilots and passengers. So while you definitely are going to be marveling at the stunning surroundings, you got to brace yourself for a thrilling ride through the wind as you touch down at this airport. Moving on to number 6 spot, we have the TIOMAN Island Airport in Malaysia. If you're seeking an extra exciting vacation, there's a tropical Malaysian destination you should check out. It's an island formed by a volcano and it boasts beautiful beaches where you can have a really good time. Now, the serene environment gives off a carefree vibe, but the flight to this paradise is a little bit unique. So how it goes is like this. Pilots who fly to this island have to navigate through the surrounding mountains and make a sharp 90-degree turn to stay on track and safely land on the runway. It definitely adds a touch of adventure to the journey, albeit very dangerous if not done precisely. Number 5 leads us to the El Caminito del Rey. This is an unnerving walkway that's constructed on the edge of a mountain, which has claimed numerous lives, leading to its closure to the public. However, that didn't stop some adventurous people from sneaking onto the path. Following extensive renovations to restore the crumbling concrete and rusty metal supports, the path reopened back in the year 2015. It's been dubbed the King's Little Path, and it's hard to actually fathom using this pathway for any type of transportation at all. It seems safer to just go through a forest than this rickety path, hovering 330 feet above the river below. And due to 5 lives being lost between the years 1999 and 2000, the route gained the dubious distinction of being the world's most dangerous walkway. The dangerous tourist attraction coming in at number 4 is the MIDDLEMOOR water park. It's hard to imagine why anyone thought that a water park trebuchet was a good idea, and yet it actually exists. The ride involved being launched from a giant catapult at breakneck speeds for the low price of $60. And the so-called safety net wasn't actually foolproof at all, and riders often suffered injuries ranging from mild concussions to broken bones. Shockingly, the ride remained operational until the year 2022 when tragedy struck. What happened was a rider missed the net and lost their life. And people are wondering what possessed park management to continue operating such a dangerous ride for so long in the first place. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the Cliffs of Moher. The Cliffs of Moher are undoubtedly one of Ireland's most breathtaking natural wonders, and the panoramic views of the Irish countryside and the Atlantic Ocean are to die for. However, the cliff's rugged and treacherous terrain has claimed many lives, making it a popular location for attempts to end one's own life, unfortunately. The cliffs reach an average height of 390 feet, with some parts extending to over 700 feet, making a fall from the top, a certain end to life. Making a fall from the top a certain end of life. Despite the cliff's unfortunate reputation, they remain one of Ireland's most popular tourist attractions, drawing over 1.5 million visitors annually. Coming up next in the number 2 spot, we have the Festival of San Fermin. Pamplona, Spain has been a charming and peaceful destination most of the year, but it becomes a hub of adrenaline and chaos during the annual San Fermin festival. The running of the bulls, as they call it, is the main event. And this event draws thousands of tourists who want to witness the spectacle of bulls charging through the city streets. However, the festival is not for the faint of heart. Every year, dozens of participants are injured and actually lose their lives because of the raging bulls. Goring is a common injury, and the bull's horns are capable of inflicting serious damage, obviously. So if you're going and looking for a very relaxing vacation, it's definitely best to avoid Pamplona during the festival that happens from July 6th to July 14th. Ending this episode off at number 1, Action Park. Action Park opened its doors in Vernon Township, New Jersey in 1978, and it was a trailblazer for water parks in America. But unfortunately, it was also a pioneer in dangerous and potential lethal amusement park rides. With wave pools that could generate 40 feet waves and water slides with loops, it's no surprise that Action Park became infamous for its high number of injuries and loss of life during its 18-year run. Thankfully, the park finally closed down for good in 1996, and this spared future generations from potential harm.